And Gordon, utility club, maybe a 5-wood in his hands there.
It looks like it should be really good.
It's 285 to that far bunker.
It's short of it. Yeah, it's perfect.
Spun up, so it should be fine.
Like that big tree come down?
Yeah.
Saw it down.
Three-wood for Fleetwood.
Yeah, Tommy, 3 under. Again, player trying to gain confidence as well. Another birdie wouldn't make a drastic effect, but it certainly helps your mind. Again, we haven't seen anything real low here at Congaree this week, so 4 under, good solid round of golf.
Gordon with the low round of the day. We will bring him and Fleetwood home here after this break. Then we'll pick up a couple of afternoon feature groups for you for the next 90 minutes.
I mean, we've seen players struggle from over the green, particularly Dustin Johnson. Tommy trying to control this in a little bit, cutting it off. Hang on. That one won't be too bad.
Fractionally long. Gordon from 153.
Well, based on the last 2 iron shots he hit, I think good chance. Well, Gordon's going to give himself another look here.
Another abbreviated sawed-off finish with that one, and he dropped it right next to the flag. That pitched within 3 feet. So we're going to pick up Joseph Bramlett and WilcoNienaber. They're at 13 here. This is Bramlett from 145.
Yeah, this has been the most difficult hole all week long.
May trickle off the front edge, and it does.
Through 15. It's a young man we don't know much about. Another one of the really solid South African players.
Wow.
That was from 95 yards, a little deep, but a lot of juice on it. And he'll come back from that 20-foot range.
Man, not too bad now. That landed by the flag.
And Fleetwood will putt this one from off the green at the last.
Well, what we're seeing on just the inconsistency of the close human area. You see the ball hobble a little bit. And truthfully, that's what prevented that ball from getting all the way to the cup. We saw Dustin Johnson struggle with that earlier this morning when he finished 19. We've seen a number of players putt from off the green from in excess of 5 or 6 feet. And there's just some inconsistency, even though it's pretty flat. Still a good round for Tommy.
68 without a drop shot.
To the hole, maybe half a cup or so.
Let's see if they can dial this one in.
You can see right to his left, there's a little bit of a slope where you see the green coming down from the left. This could be entirely, obviously based on speed, but this has got to move left to right.
Played it outside the hole and a little too much pace behind it, so that's going to be 3 pars coming in for Gordon. It's a fine round, and believe it or not, 7 under, it's going to feel a little unfulfilling based on the way those final 3 holes went down.
Absolutely gave himself looks at 16, 17, and 18. Now, obviously, it kind of started with that hole out shot from the sand on 15, which propelled him to 7 under, but he hit a lot of good golf shots finishing off this round.
Started the day tied for 47th. He's going to pick up 40 spots on the leaderboard today. "34 putts each of the last 2 days. Clean that up today. 27 total en route to that 64.
Again, impressive round.
To the 13th here. Bramlett from just off the putting surface.
I don't know, that ball came through smoothly.
He had a run on the Korn Ferry Tour last season. Back-to-back events, second and third, both contested around the World Golf Village in St. Augustine. Now Nienaber to get it to 7 under.
Initially just slightly uphill at first and then gradually downhill, so has to be careful with the speed here.
Oh, does that look good for a long time?
You know, when you think about it, also, we're at a venue where not many of these players have seen the golf course, so no big advantage like we see most weeks.
Bramlin and Nienaber reached the 14th. Collins caught up with them.
Well, this one on its way from 231 for Bramlett. It's a little left of the flagstick. Looks like it's staying there. That one may have to hold.
And now the young South African.
Yeah, this one starts out on a beautiful line just at the flagstick, falling just marginally to the right. And that one's going to be just shy of pin.
They're at the 12th here, and the third for Fitzpatrick at the par 5.
Nice spot there, similar position where we saw Will Gordon make his birdie putt from. But should be just inside the right edge.
One.
This, again, I go back to what we talked about. Even though it's closely mown and a little bit uphill, should be. It just sometimes the ball will get bouncing a little bit, and obviously that will take a lot of the momentum off. But that comes through there somewhat smoothly, and that was just more of a lack of weight.
A modified claw. This one going to come from his left right as it comes off the back edge of the screen. Just a very, very slight bobble at the beginning as it came onto the green. And as a result, that one comes up just.
Big strapping dude, 6'4", 195 pounds here, part of Stanford's 2007 national championship team.
Has dealt with some injuries over his career, which
for birdie number 5 of the day. Just saw Will Gordon get it around in 7 under, and Fitzpatrick threatening what would perhaps be the low. Amateur events in Africa and represented South Africa, the 2018 Eisenhower Trophy. They contested that in Ireland.
Yeah, this from just outside 20 feet, 25 feet, coming up that little tier as it works its way to the back there. That's a pretty.
And this is first event.
Just outside 4 feet. Safely home.
Fitzpatrick has the tee at 13.
Just a fairway metal.
The tempo reminds you of Nick Price a little bit.
I would, a little bit, yeah. I mean, just real quick, maybe a little bit longer golf swing than Nick Price.
Now at 13, 4-time winner on the tour, including the Canadian Open in 2012. It would have been contested this week. Second swing had about as much clubhead speed as the first one. That one's off the mark there for Piercy.
Yes, they will. They've moved off the back of the green. I've been dying to watch these two hit it. Well, this one starting at the green, leaking right, and that is going to find the sandy area and looks like towards the long grass. Well, this one playing back into the wind today. It's going to require a big hit to get to the front of this green for sure. 320 to the front. I think that one caught the sandy area. Just to the right.
Well, it's in between two islands over there, similar to the spot shot link tower. So I don't blame him.
Rules official has been summoned, so Fitzpatrick will fire one in there from 164.
And they're behind the hole.
We just have a lot of these ants around, and they're not fire ants. They're just, I guess they call them sugar ants. I mean, they don't bite, so there wouldn't be any relief for a fire ant.
If any of you guys were out there watching yesterday, even though that was explained to Sanjay, you could tell he still felt like they might be. He was shaking his foot, his leg. We'll see if ScottPiercy kind of has the same reaction.
It's the return of the dreaded sugar ants.
You would not get that anywhere but here.
Now the matter of a shot. There's a lot going on here visually. What's he trying to do? Carve one around there.
He's going to do that, but he's got to be careful. If that starts off too far to the right and catches that native grass there, it looked to be really good contact there. And all things considered, not too bad.
Fitzpatrick's already up. Bramlett inside the hazard line there in the penalty area, technically.
Yeah, really not much choice but to try and chop and pop this one out. If he gets it just over the bunker, that will trundle up towards the pin. That'll leave him about... Yeah, a little awkward stance here. He's got one sort of foot up on that little island that you mentioned. Good lie, though. It's really about how much you want to chew off. Do you want to just sort of hit a pop and drop and let it trundle back to this pin, or fly it all the way back? He's chose to try and skip it back there. That's very well played.
Nice.
Pretty evident we'll see more of WilcoNienaber.
Now Bramlett's birdie.
Yeah, this a bleeder from his left to right as it wanders back down into this hole that's in a little bit of a bowl. Back left, and boy, that one just ran out.
Now here's Piercy's third at 13. It looked a little scoopy from that angle, didn't it?
Yeah, just all flipping with the hands. No.
Yeah, already got a good round going. And this a very, very makeable putt.
Power and touch, a little ingenuity with the second shot. And a good round, and week continues.
You know, I always said that you look at a player like WilcoNienaber and other players, and people ask me, you know, will they get to the tour? Well, the Express, like we saw from Will Gordon and Jordan Spieth and Phil Mickelson, but if they're talented enough, eventually they will make their way to the tour.
That was Fitzpatrick's bid for birdie number 6 of the round.
You can't hide talent, particularly in golf.
And Piercy about 25 feet for his par now. Almost stole one. Nienaber up at 16.
Great ball, Wilco.
Wow, this one absolutely torched down the left, fading back towards the center. That is some serious club head speed.
That is.
Well, this one from Joseph Bramlett a little more to the right start line, fading back a little bit. That one should also be safe.
You almost wonder, you know, you go back to Tiger Woods, Davis loved the third, when they came on tour, wooden drivers. Both toned back their golf swings. Would that have happened now if the equipment and everything had been there when they first got on tour? How far would they have hit it?
14, measuring 231 today. Fitzpatrick's tee shot will just trickle off the edge. Now Piercy coming off the bogey. Good looking shot. Only a few paces to work with over there. Piercy managed to.
Light and variable all day. What little bit there is just off his left and down. But the only place you can't hit this is a little long. That was good contact. Driving it in a little bit low, all over the flagstick. If this is the right number, it could be close.
It is indeed.
Well, Joseph Bramlett drove his 325. Nienaber flew his 325, 345 total. Just a flick wedge in here. Just trying to take a little bit of spin off it.
14.
Yeah, this all the way across the green again. Hard to make, but put yourself in the position to save par there, and you have to feel pretty good.
3 made during this final round. Piercy's got nearly 40 feet ahead of him here.
Yeah, a little bit of elevation change, go through a little valley there and up a slope.
That one slips right past the coin of Piercy, and
well, everything I've seen so far looks pretty sound to me. Yeah, this putt, like we saw, actually a similar putt that we saw from Will Gordon. This putt is going to move right to left. Yeah, like they really just cannot give it enough pace to hold the line there.
tap in for par. Piercy back at 14. Work to do. And taking care of it. Avoids a second straight bogey.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see him. It will be interesting to see how players approach it at that point.
Fitzpatrick likes to leave the flagstick in even on the short ones and just kind of rattles.
So even though, you know, if you get to the tour the first time, it's a learning experience, and the opportunities come back, and to have that injury obviously could have totally derailed him. But you can see he's battled back, and, you know, and where, you know, a good week here or there as we wind down the season is huge for him.
297
You know, pick up look assumed he was going to be a Tiger Woods, and you know, I credit him to understand that and realize that there was a lot of pressure, and you know, people need to realize that we tend to assume too much in general, anyways.
Nienaber at 17 there, Carn. He doesn't.
That would be a nice problem to have.
Fitzpatrick back at 15, playing 342.
Well, nicely done here for Matt.
Yeah, he's got the low chaser in the arsenal, doesn't he?
He doesn't hit the ball. I mean, he hits the ball long enough, sort of intimidated or afraid of hitting golf shots.
Piercy favors a high fade. That's kind of his go-to shot.
Come on, baby.
It's a little bit of a softer landing with the front side and the legs than you see from some of the younger players. Fitzpatrick and Piercy just off the edge of the green here at the short par 4. That's got to dig a little bit.
Yeah, that was read pretty well, but As you
can afford to take it a little bit past the pin and use that slope and try and get it to come back a little bit. But I tell you what, this kid has come a long way from the first time I met him at Torrey Pines when he was playing the World Junior against Jason. Would have been great to watch his career evolve if he didn't get injured as much. But that one, sending it behind the pin, that one's going to come back a little bit. And that'll actually leave a pretty make. He moved that one on the previous hole, 345, carried it 325. He has got just power to burn. I tell you what, he is going to enjoy Torrey Pines. This one all over it. If it's the right weight, it'll be very close. And that one may end up down there near Joseph Bramlett.
He's got long levers, too. He's kind of a... See, Piercy can do a little bit better than Fitzpatrick here at 15.
look at that ball roll out. Obviously, it's going to be short of the hole, but...
And then they've moved the yardage of the par threes around considerably from 140 to 240 yards.
I think the beauty of this venue is you could have an LPGA event here. You could have a junior event here. I mean, you could hold any sort of golf tournament here because of the ability to vary the distance of the golf course.
Well, that was an opportunity they got away from Matt Fitzpatrick. And Piercy will not let it get away. He cashes in at the short par 4. He'll have the tee up at 16.
Yeah, that'll move him just outside the top 20.
Back at 17, both Bramlett and Nienaber in the same neighborhood here. This back quadrant of the green here, Carl, it's actually a pretty makeable part of the surface here.
Oh, absolutely, Swanee. This is exactly where you would love to put your ball, and both these guys have managed to do it. They knocked it down there far enough they could get a little more lofted club in there, be a little bit more aggressive with it. But Bramlett is all over this one. He has looked at it from every direction. I really don't think there's a lot in it, to be honest.
And there's a ridge.
Looks like almost one of those putts if you take it a little. I'm sorry, Kenny.
Yeah, there's a ridge kind of both sides. There's one to the left of his line, which is going to influence, and then kind of well to his right coming off the back of it. So, yeah, I mean, I think there's not going to be a lot of movement, but I could see this working a little left to right up the slope.
Well, he is aiming just ever so slightly to the right. I'm directly behind him. It's one of those putts that you could actually pretty much probably hit it either or. You could either take it left or right. He has taken it dead at the ball. Oh boy, that was a right edge putt, and that one broke right across the face.
Yeah.
I tell you what, there was one interested spectator there. Nienaber was all over that.
Yeah, and as Colin said, you could have probably got that ball to work either way.
16, Piercy with driver. That's just fine.
You can almost hear the speed of the golf swing there. Not that he's the fastest, but he has plenty of swing speed.
Pretty healthy rip at it there, and that's going to just slip past the tee shot of Piercy.
You got it out there with ScottPiercy. You're not short.
All right, see if Nienaber put the information from the Bramlett putt to use.
Yeah, he's just a slightly different angle, but that one definitely was influenced and pushed to the right.